So, as much as I don't want to necessarily have to care about American politics, unfortunately, we're just so tied together as neighbors and as economies that we don't have much choice. Um, so, when you ask me, like, are the Jews my main concern? Like, no. Is Israel my main
That's not
concern?
what he
No. Do
asked
I think
you.
what's happening
That's
in
not what I
Israel and
asked you.
Palestine
Not
is
gonna
Yeah.
make it. I'm sorry.
He said, what's the number one problem?
Because I know you talked about the influence of APAC. So I'm just trying to get to the point I'm getting at. That to me is not my top concern.
Bitch
For me,
ass
my top
nigga.
concern right now in the world
Boom.
um, is twofold. When it's the affordability crisis, I think that's just growing by the day. I think as job opportunities are disappearing, people are getting more and more lost and worried about their future. So that's my number one priority and my number one issue. And then, I think that's number one.
So why is there an affordability crisis in America?
There you go.
I think it is a, a, a bit of a crossroads. I think with AI and a lot of that stuff, I think it's impacting the job market and the prospects. I also think economically speaking, this own administration has done a lot of harm to its own economy. I think personally, this is not a topic I really go in depthly on because I'm just somebody who tends to view
Because you're
more than I can
stupid.
speak on it. But I couldn't tell you the reasons.
But you can
Why
ask
do
him
you
a bunch
think-
of questions,
I feel like
right?
you might know
You
more.
could grill him
said
on it,
the
right?
reason that there's an affordability crisis
Stupid ass
is
nigga.
AI and the economy.
It's the number one issue, but he don't even know why.
They've hampered their own industries. I think some of the investment choices that have been made.
Investments.
I think,
Okay.
yeah. So I think, for example, the tariffs are a great example of things that have only hurt the world economy in general and America itself. I think you're seeing a loss of jobs. I think jobs now are completely down than they were almost a year ago, and they're still going down. So obviously, the job market is just fucking in the toilet in that regards. There's a lot of uncertainty. It's so multifaceted in regards to the housing market. There's so many different things, but I personally just don't.
I
feel
did
like
not know
that's
Abo was
important.
this stupid.
I'm just asking what you think is the number one important issue.
I did not know he was that
you asked
stupid, bro.
extensively what I think.
That's the number one important issue.
Affordability. Okay, and so the reasons you listed were AI and investments, right? Like the spending budget, where our money's going.
Sorry, repeat that.
Okay, so you said AI and investments, and by investments, do you mean where our tax dollars are going and where the American budget's going? Correct? Investing into like the military industrial complex. By the way, that's the number one spending. This is the number one. That's where most of the money's going.
If you're asking me the causes, I have enough humility to say this. If you're asking me the causes, I can't tell you why.
Oh.
I can speculate, but like it's just it's not something I'm well read enough to even point to source.
But you can ask niggas a bunch of questions, right?
One thing I said, I could tell you the reasons why. I can tell you what I think is the number one issue, and that's affordability. That's the real answer for me.
Okay, but I mean, then I don't think it's fair for you to be like overly so critical about aligning with. And
Thank
what
you.
the repercussions are. What the future's going to happen.
This nigga don't even know what the
You have
problems
very
are.
Strong opinions about.
Yo,
my
what the
platform and
fuck?
What I'm going to do, while also admitting that you don't know what the main issue is.
Let's go,
I don't know
SNEAKO.
what the main issue is.
He don't know
You
shit.
said that the
Nigga
main issue is
stupid.
affordability, and you don't know why it happens.
This nigga
and you haven't looked
retarded.
into it. So if you don't know that,
Okay.
then I don't think it's fair to also have so many criticisms about what I believe.
Nigga
in
crying
my
about grapers.
Political goals or my aspirations for this.
He don't know shit about what's going on.
Strong opinions
I don't
about me and my platform, but not strong
It's
opinions
easy.
about the country.
Super easy. I don't critique you about your points about affordability. I think there's also the rise in fascism and right-wing groups that are incredibly extreme. I think there's a rise in that. There's a rise in this kind of politics where it's going to be stripping people of their rights, and that's something that I might know more about.
Okay,
I think it is
a rise in right-wing
not the number one
fascism
issue, which is what
doesn't come
you're asking.
close
Number
But
one is
it's-
affordability.
to problems
That's
in
something I
America,
think you
retard.
Affordability, right? So,
Bro.
Gen Z holds the average debt in Gen Z is $94,000, and the average 30-year-old does not own a house or is not married anymore. In the 1960s, the average 30-year-old was married and had a kid. Today, like less than 10% at the age of 30 are married and can own a home. Owning a home is a pipe dream now. Getting married and having children by that age is also a pipe dream. So, like, why does that happen? Why are we at this place right now?
I don't know.
We're at this place because military spending is the number one. That's where the budget majority goes. 70% of our budget is towards the military industrial complex. Where is the military fighting wars? Why is this so expensive?
Okay, if you're asking me these questions and I say I don't know, I don't know. Now, if you want
Well,
to
I
say to
can
me
tell
I don't
you.
agree,
Oh, so you could go ahead and grow niggas on shit, but you don't know nothing.
if you say I have an issue with how much they spend on the military
Bro.
budget and I don't think it's justified, I think it's for the wrong
Idiot.
reasons, you can probably get me to believe that and I can learn more about it, and I'm more than willing to. But I don't know what that has to do with my criticisms of you and what you were saying earlier. What does this have to do with that?
Because you're criticizing my worldview and who I'm aligning with politically, and I'm explaining to you what the most important issue is to me, right? So you have strong opinions about that, while also admitting that you don't have strong opinions about what you think the solution should be. So
I'm not criticizing your worldview.
Yeah, this nigga cares about right-wing fascism, which is like, are you serious? Right-wing fascism? This dude's an idiot.
Affordability crisis.
Okay.
The other thing
This nigga knows more about groypers than the affordability crisis.
we have been infiltrated completely by Zionists. Sam Altman is the owner of ChatGPT. He's a gay Jew. Netanyahu has said publicly how they're using
I'll be
LLMs
sweating
and
now.
how they're
sweating.
programming it to fit their agenda. The reason that AI is a place in
This nigga sweating now.
is we have to look at who's behind it and who's controlling it. The reason that there's an affordability crisis, you could even go back to the central bank system that started from the Rothschilds. Epstein in his files recently just said he represents the Rothschilds. We no longer operate off of a gold standard. The Rothschilds, they are the ones who bought the land and were able to make the trade deal with
yeah, you got to
England
shut it down.
You
got to shut it down. Here we go.
Epstein represented the Rothschilds.
I'm getting nervous.
The affordability crisis goes right back, and apparently you seem like you agree with me that Israel is the main issue. Israel is the main parasite causing the problem that you said is the main concern.
No, see, I would agree with you if I believed that that was true or if I knew that was true. I don't, so that's why.
Nigga can't agree.
Now, if it turns out to be true, then we can have a different discussion. But I don't believe that, or I don't know that.
What do you need me to look up to show you that the Rothschilds started the central bank system and also started the formula?
Well, I would have to actually look it up.
And all the bank and all the wars are controlled by the bankers.
I'm just be very transparent. Say I don't know. But what I am going to get back to is when I criticize you, I don't criticize you because you are critical of Israel. I don't criticize you because you want to talk about the Rothschilds or any of these things. My criticism of you is how you're engaging with facts and how you determine something to be a fact when you repeat it. Your definition of investigative journalism, your idea of caring for people and thinking about the rights of fellow Muslims or fellow Haitians or whatever, and then also aligning yourself with people who would probably harm that. These are criticisms that are very pointed and very specific. And then you're pointing me to the economy and then Israel's influence. Are you trying to say I'm ignorant on Israel, and you think it's more important to align yourself with these people who are against Israel, even if it hurts your own people?
Well,
is that
bro? Jewish supremacy is a bigger threat to Muslims than white nationalism. Shut the fuck up, Abba. Yo, this nigga's such an idiot. Bro, tag me in, SNEAKO. God damn. This nigga really said here, you're aligning yourself with Christian nationalists that are gonna like hurt Muslims. Nigga, the biggest threat to Muslims in America by far, is fucking Jewish supremacy. You bitch ass nigga, and you don't want to admit that shit. Yo, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? Who's waging the wars on Muslims in the Middle East and domestically? You fucking dumbass? Huh? Yo, what?
On the things that I'm interested in, that I feel like are my purview, and that I have a genuine want for.
Some
it's not my
dumbass nigga said stop
responsibility.
meeting it. Shut the fuck up.
Let's say tomorrow, okay, there's a housing crisis, okay?
Bro.
A housing crisis is so bad, half the people are homeless. If I don't have a genuine motivation, or if I'm not deeply interested in learning all the facts and learning everything and speak on it, I don't have a responsibility to talk about it. That's akin to you saying everybody should stop talking about everything because Israel's a bigger deal. Is that what you want for the world?
So do you find me more interesting than Israel?
No. I find talking about the way content creators engage with content and their influence and all these things important. One, two, I feel internally motivated.
Bro, I'm about to fry this
I feel
nigga,
more
bro.
interested in talking about
I'm about to
how
fry
people
this
engage with
nigga,
facts. Bro. Why?
Yeah.
Bro has all these strong opinions, but can't stand on nothing, dude.
It's not you specifically. You act like I wake up in the morning, I'm like, what's SNEAKO up to?
But you've invested more time into me than Israel. You've admitted.
Like, yo, this nigga's been crying about fucking him hanging out with Nick Fuentes, basically, is the whole gist of this, bro.
What's wrong with that?
because that's not the main issue, because that's less important.
Nigga, we got way bigger.
I have less.
We're about to go to war with Iran. How about you fucking dumbass? You over here talking about grapers? You retarded ass nigga? Like what? Bro, this dude is so stupid.
No. Yeah, but you're saying the affordability crisis is Israel. That's not what I said. That's what you said.
Well, okay, but you said the issue is the affordability crisis, but you also said you don't know why that is. So you've invested more time into me than what you think is the main issue, which is the affordability crisis.
Tag man, bro, I'm about to cook
so
this
therefore
nigga,
you
bro.
find me more interesting
No
than the main
Spears
problem.
GG, shout out to you. Yo, I'm about to fry this. I'm about to air fry this nigga, bro.
And I could deal with another problem that I think is also important. And you're saying there's something wrong with me dealing with number 4 on the list instead of number 1. Why wouldn't I deal with number 4 if it's more interesting to me?
Because then your priorities are out of whack. The priority should always be number 1, right? Your focus should be on number 1, not number 4 or 6 or 7.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong. I think the priority of our government and the people I elect who actually have the capabilities, their priority should be on that. My job and what I'm going to take an interest in and what I'm going to influence is what I feel, 1, capable, 1, within my interest field. And that's what I'm playing. Like, it's a very weird thing that you're doing, because you're essentially saying, because I didn't put my focus on the number 1 issue in the world, there's something weird about that.
I'm not saying it's weird. I'm not saying it's weird. I think that your fixation and your priorities could be, well, obviously your priorities are not number 1. You're not even focusing on what you think is the main issue. And I think that's the best use of your platform and your voice. You have a big audience.
I'm focusing on the issue that I could best influence and that I'm most internally motivated by.
Right.
Like if somebody,
which doesn't have to do with the improvement of the country. You're more concerned with SNEAKO hanging out with Nick Fuentes and grapers, bro. That's literally what this is.
A woodworker, to stop being a woodworker. Do what you're good at. Contribute to society your way. Not everyone has to go into engineering because that's what we need. Find your lane and be you.
Okay, but how could you even know if what I'm doing is correct or genuine or the best it could be, while also admitting that you don't know the power structures? Right? If you don't understand what the power structures are, then you're not able to have a fair criticism about my platform because you don't know how the world works.
He doesn't know, yeah, exactly. He doesn't know shit.
If you are saying, okay, my criticism of you is not that you have the wrong priority. That's not my point. My criticism of you is that you are advocating for people whilst aligning yourself for people that are going to hurt your folks. That's it, right? A lot of people in your circle oftentimes perpetuate.
And the bigger threat to Muslims is not the grapers and the Christian nationalism like you're complaining about. It's the other thing that you're too scared to talk about, which proves our point.
And other folks are hurt. That's the people that you surround yourself with a lot of times, right? So I'm saying, if you're going to advocate for these people, how do you hold that view and then also work with folks who are going to hurt that? Now, we just disagree on the fact that they're going to hurt your folks. That's
you haven't provided any valid evidence that they're going to hurt me, especially I stated why it's going to improve the life of Muslims or brown people in America compared to the power structure that exists right now. I see it as an improvement rather than something that's harmful. And I don't know how you can make the comparison. You're saying that it's going to hurt my people. Well, okay, right now we're controlled by Israel. So if that's removed, and I believe that they are causing more harm to Muslims and brown people than a majority white country or Christian country, that I don't know how you can make that determination while not understanding what Israel is doing.
Okay, let's say I agree with you. Let's say I agree that Israel's the number 1 issue, okay? But
bro,
you also think it's very important.
This nigga's crying about grapers when we're about to go on war with Iran, bro. This nigga's an idiot.
The first question I would raise is, do you have to align yourself with folks who are therefore afterwards going to hurt your folks? Let's say my worldview is real, okay? That I believe that these people are going to hurt the folks that you
I got my
and I also will grant you that Israel's the number 1 problem.
I don't give a shit about dead kids. I got my $7,000. I love getting paychecks from Zionists.
And then if you're saying yes, well, I think you probably just
this nigga got the 7K, bro.
Okay. I don't think you
this
can.
This nigga got the 7K, bro.
What you described about the world, I don't think you can even fairly make the assertion that it's going to harm without knowing who's in control now. How could you insinuate that this is worse off when you're saying you don't even know who's in control now?
If I'm saying who's in control now,
yeah,
so
how are you saying that this power structure?
Yo, this nigga got the call, bro.
How could you make the assertion that this is bad while not knowing what's going on right now?
I don't know what's going on right now.
You said you don't know why. Okay. You said you don't know why there's.
Sorry, I'm actually trying. Should be a second.
Yeah.
Nigga
You said you don't know why
retarded,
there's an
bro.
affordability crisis, and you're not going to invest time into doing that. But you've made the assertion that the people I'm aligning with are going to harm. You cannot confidently say that this is going to be harmful while also admitting you don't know why there's an affordability crisis right now. So you can't prove a negative.
Okay, I'm going to answer a part of this because it's a part I do understand, okay? I know that if the extreme right or the Groypers get in power, that for minorities and for religious minorities like Muslims, it's a bad thing. They're very open about the fact that they don't like these groups. They don't want them to spread, and they want to maintain their majority. So it is bad, right? You're eliminating people's freedoms, which in a country that should prioritize freedoms, you're already that. So it is inherently going to be bad based off of things that they want as a worldview. So I know that's going to be bad. Yes.
Is that better or worse than the power structure that we have currently?
Is that better or worse than the power structure
Is
that we have?
a white majority Christian country, like that power structure that you're saying is bad, like Nick Fuentes Corp, is that worse off than the power structure currently?
I think it's very close. I think you can make certainly the argument. I think either way, whether you're going to be advocating for MAGA or the Groyper types, I think you're fucking over your people. Yeah, for sure.
No, not fucking over the people.
I don't think that's a hot take though.
No.
Yeah.
Bruh. Yeah, yo. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a retarded, bro.
Right now, do you agree that Israel is in control of America?
I think Israel influences a lot. Yes.
Okay.
I think it has a lot of influence and power. Yeah, sure.
And a white majority Christian, somebody, say it's like, it could be anybody, like that prioritizes Christianity, does not want to have Israel involved. Does that create a better, say there was a white Christian leader of America, and that doesn't have an allegiance to Israel. Would that be a better country for poor people, Muslims, brown people? Would that create a better environment for those people than what's happening with Israel right now? Or would that be worse?
I feel like this is what I feel like. This is like the
I feel like
question. This is how I'm interpreting it. So you can hit back. I feel like I'm living in like Jim Crow segregation America, and you're like, do you feel like it's better to be with here or the Nazis?
What?
Under them. And it's like, well, I feel like both of these apparatuses are horrible for me as a minority. And if I have an ideal choice, I'm going to try to align myself with people who are going to fight for my rights and for my people.
Which one is more harmful?
I would imagine probably Nazi Germany, yeah.
But okay, instead of this hypothetical, I'm talking about what's happening now. Like,
But no, that is my point, though. I think the Groypers and their worldviews.
Well, if Abba wasn't a retard, he would know that Hitler literally admired Muslims and he worked with Palestinians. But Abba's a retard, so he doesn't know that. So actually, he's wrong. The Nazis would protect Muslims more. Retard.
Control, or would you rather live in an America first control?
Yo, this nigga's terrified of them, bro.
Oh, for sure. Like, I 100%. I would not support Nick Fuentes. But it is because you said no. It actually is.
It doesn't have to be Nick. It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be Nick. I'm not even saying. I'm saying, would you rather live with Zionism?
I'm talking about Nick and the Groypers. Yes. I would not.
Okay, but that's not my question. Would you rather live
Boss,
with?
you already said that we. No. But you already said that we live under Zionist control. Is that not true? That's what you've been telling me this whole time. That Israel
you don't have
controls
to.
the country.
I don't know if you.
So we live under the Zionist control.
I don't know if you've agreed with that. I'm simplifying the question as best I can. Would you rather live with Zionist control or without Zionist control?
Without.
Okay.
Hold on.
Then we agree.
I want to live without. Hold on. I want to live without foreign influence as much as possible when it comes to how politics operate in my country. That's the answer. Okay. So whether it's Zionist, whether it's some other group, I don't want.
Then no multiculturalism and no immigration. Stupid nigga.
If you want to say it's Zionist, I don't mind. I agree.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking what is it? Like, what do you think it is? So where's the majority of foreign influence coming from?
I imagine it's going to be probably, at least for the U.S., probably APAC and Israel.
Okay. And so that's causing the affordability crisis.
Why are you acting like I'm afraid to say it? I'm not afraid to say it.
I'm not acting like you're afraid to say it. But I'm trying to point out why you I think you're getting distracted.
He's terrified to say it, bro.
By some of the racist rhetoric. You point out Jim Crow, and that's preventing you from seeing the bigger picture. Like overall, this stuff is very minor compared to the bigger issue. And although, and again, I have disagreements with white Christians, but those disagreements are so minor compared to what's really happening and what's causing all the problems in our country. And that's what I'm focused on getting rid of, what I want to change.
I just think that right now, under the Zionist control that you claim, you have more freedoms than you would have if you were under a completely right-wing authoritarian, or the folks who want to just focus on making sure that whiteness is the major priority.
But you said yourself,
your
main issue is not freedom. You said your main issue was affordability. You said the main problem is affordability. That's the main concern happening in America.
Okay.
So I'm following your logic.
Concern, no. Concern means that this is the issue that we have right now. But it's only number one because our other needs are met for the most part. If your political friends got their way, we would have new number one priorities. Because I personally don't really going to think about housing as much or affordability if I'm going to be jailed for whatever reason, or if I'm going to be denied certain opportunities in terms of work because they want to make sure white folks are in power. So, no.
Yo, chat, I like the video, bro. This is painful, bro. So, I like the video, chat. Like, I don't even want to be on fucking dumbass YouTube, but I'm on here for y'all niggas. Like the video.
The Muslims and Haitians, yeah.
Okay, but freedom is at number 4, right? And affordability is number 1?
Sure, yeah, right now.
Okay,
no.
Well, do you agree that number 1 is the most important?
Yes, because
okay,
then
we
no, hold on, no, we don't. Okay, and these words matter. When you say what's the priority doesn't mean it's more important. I don't think affordability
priority
is
does mean most important.
No. Listen. Just listen. When I say it's the priority, you're not prioritizing something because it's more important. You're prioritizing something sometimes because it's more pressing. More pressing means that it's an issue. So, example, SNEAKO, is having a house or ability to pay for things important?
Yes.
Okay, is it more important than having human rights?
Human rights is a broad term.
Bro.
What do you mean specifically?
So let's say you lived underneath a government where you had no human rights. They could jail you anytime they want.
Yeah, so he's assuming, if Nick and his people got into power, we wouldn't have any rights, bro. We wouldn't have any human rights.
The question is, what's more important, owning a home or having government infiltration?
No, I'm asking a simple question. What's more important in life? Having house or affordability or human rights?
Well, I don't think the two things are mutually exclusive, because you wouldn't have human rights if you weren't able to buy a home. Like, I think there's an overlap there. These two things aren't separate.
If you lived in a country where you had no human rights, okay, but affordability was a problem, what would be your priority?
Where there's human rights and owning a home? But that question doesn't make sense.
Listen to the question.
This nigga, man.
You have no human rights and affordability is really bad. You live in this country. There's no human rights, okay? The government can do whatever it wants, fully authoritarian, okay?
Okay.
Yo,
this is what I'm saying.
Bro.
No human rights, affordability is bad. What's the priority? What's more important?
Once again, there's an overlap there, because like human rights are being able to own a home. That's part of a human right, is owning a home.
Owning a home is a human right? Well, when did that happen?
Having the ability to live in a house, yeah, like that stuff is part of human, like having a roof over your head.
Okay, so I'm going to answer the question for you since you're dodging, okay? So the answer is this. Human rights are obviously more important. You literally can't live or have freedoms if you don't have human rights. Is human rights a priority to me today? No, because we don't have an issue with human rights. So I would put affordability as the number one priority, because that's where we're struggling.
But this argument comes on he assumes that if these guys got into power, there'd be no human rights, which is wrong. His premise is false.
It's the most important thing in the world. No, I'm saying we have to focus on this because the house is on fire. But after the house is not on fire, I still think human rights are more important. It's just this is the number one priority.
Okay, I mean, I don't think that frame of the question makes sense, because, yeah, you're saying that being able to live, right? You can't raise a family or live properly without having a home. Like, so I don't see how that makes any
Because
sense.
he's trying to assume that the Groypers would take away human rights.
Wait,
That's
you're
his
not
argument.
actually trying to say that
That's what he's trying to say.
having a home is like
That's what he's
equal
trying to say.
like the right to freedom, do you?
What do you mean the right to freedom?
Like, do you think that's like a more important human right?
What do you?
right to
I'm
have a
asking. I
home?
want to hear. What do you? What does that mean? The right to freedom?
Like to live in a country where basically owning a home is a human right. Okay, let's say that exists. Do you think that
That
human
is
right
right.
is more
That's
important?
human right in America is being able to own a home. That's part of human rights.
No, that's something that we ideally want for people, but it's not a human right.
So what are human rights to you?
Human rights involve a lot of your
All
most
right, bro.
basic necessities in regards to
Like a
things that you
home?
would
Like, if you don't have a home, you can't.
Well, hold on. That you would expect to be enshrined in the law. There is no law that says you have to have a house. There is no law that says that you
You have the ability to, but it says you have the ability to own a house.
All right, chat. I'm gonna read some. I'm gonna read chats, bro. This is painful, bro.